Hi, this is Vivian Watts. Look at these cute houses. Most of us have a kid that can make a card featuring a house or a building, but they're usually one-dimensional. How would you like to turn what you have in your stash into a 3D project? And you can even make a village of your own. What if I tell you you don't even have to worry about any measurements? Does that sound good? Let's give it a try. So today we'll be using this one as our sample to show you how to structure your own box house card. Normally you would need to make only the front of the house, but today we're going to take two pieces, one for the front, one for the back. I'm going to use these two unembellished pieces to show you how to structure our project first. Now we're going to take a piece of paper. The first mark you're going to make is a 1/4 inch for our seam allowance. This is a term we use in sewing, but we're going to use the same term. And the reason for this is that you're going to leave space for you to put adhesive on later. From your seam allowance, you're going to mark the distance between the tip of your roof and the lower edge of your roof. So all you need to do is to place your piece on your paper and just make a mark, like so. Now we're going to make another mark, which is the distance from the top of your sidewall to the bottom of your wall. So place your piece on the paper like so and make another mark. All right, so far so good. Now we're going to turn the paper to the other direction and we're going to leave another 1/4 inch for our seam allowance. Again, the reason for this is that you're going to leave room and make tabs so you can put your adhesive on later on. Now for today's example, we're going to make pretty much a square box card. So we will be using the width of the wall for our next mark. You can adjust it to be bigger or smaller later on once you are familiar with the structure. Now we need another 1/4 inch of seam allowance. So from the mark that we just made, we're going to put another mark. And now these two marks will mark the size of our paper. Now once we have all the marks made, we're ready to cut our paper. I'm showing you a piece of paper that if you connect all the marks we made, you're going to later make score lines on this piece of paper. But don't worry about this, I'm going to show you step by step later. So just keep this in mind for now. All right, now we're ready to cut. So make sure we place our paper so our mark is right on the cutting edge. All right, so one side's down, now we're working on the other side. Okay, now we have the correct size that we will be needing to structure our house card. So I'm taking my card just to test the size, and it looks good. All right, now we're ready to make our score lines. So first we're going to score a 1/4 inch based on the mark we had. Remember, this is our seam allowance for one side. And we have two more to make. So you're pretty much making seam allowances for 3 sides. Okay, the top and the 2 sides. And remember, there's another mark we made, so we're going to make another score line like so. Okay, here's a look of what we just made. All right, now we get to fold and press it to really give it a good crease, because we're going to be needing these later for our structure. All right, so we're going to do all 3 sides first. What we're doing now is actually making the tabs for our adhesive. Almost there. All right. And we have one more score line to make. All right. Now that we have all the lines, score lines made, we'll take another look to see if they will fit onto our piece. And it looks good. So now we're going to just make notches so it'll be easier for us to attach glue and so we can connect the pieces together. And the reason for this is because you don't want too much material when you are applying glue. All right, so we're just going to make notches like so. This is pretty much the same process when you make any boxes. When you try to adhere the sides, you want to make notches so it's easier to come together. All right, let's take another look. This is how you're going to attach these 2 pieces together. Okay, what you just made is the side wall and the roof of your box card. And you're going to be attaching that to your piece like so. So right now I'm just checking the measurement because at this point I can still make adjustment. But it looks pretty good. All right, so I'm happy about what I'm seeing right now. It looks like it's going to work perfectly. All right, so I'm showing you how you'll be attaching this piece later on. Now, since this is only one side, you know you need another side. So you're going to make another piece using what you have in your hand as your template and just make a second piece like so. All right, now I think we're ready to adhere and connect the pieces together. You will be applying glue to these pieces to form a shape like this. All right, let's go ahead and start applying glue. And you want to apply your glue to the back of your piece. So if you have a piece that's already embellished, you want to make sure you are attaching the wall to the back of your embellished piece. So for now, I'm only applying glue to one side because I want to make sure that I have a good foundation first. You can apply either by matching the tip of the roof first or the bottom of the wall first. It's up to you because either way, they're supposed to come together nicely. Okay. I will recommend using liquid glue because it will give you some time to make adjustments. And making any 3D project requires patience and a little bit of skill. So you want to take your time and enjoy the process. Now that we have one side attached, we can start working on the other side. Double checking to make sure everything will fit nicely. Now we're ready to attach glue. And this time we're going to attach glue on both sides. One side is to attach our wall to the front piece, and the other side is to connect the tip of the roof. And again, you can try to attach by matching the bottom of the wall first or the tip of the roof. It's going to take a little time and patience again, but I promise you it's going to come together very nicely and you will be very happy with the result. So working with liquid glue will give us some flexibility. We can make adjustments, move things around a little bit before it starts to dry. I find the most challenging part to be attaching the tip of the roof. Yeah, so you can trying to adjust and from behind, because you still have an opening, so you still have some room to, stick your finger into that and try to make sure everything is adhering nicely. All right, it's really starting to take shape. All right, so what's the next step? You guessed it. We're going to put the other side of the back of the house. So what you need to do is to attach glue of all these edges so you can connect the back of the house to the wall. Because you already have these attached to the front of the house, you should have a pretty good frame already. I like to attach from lining up the bottom of my wall and then work my way up to the side of the wall and the tip of the roof. Again, I'm trying to manipulate from different angles. I stick my finger inside and try to make adjustments. Okay, now you have the frame already. So taking a look of our finished project, you have the front, the back, and the two side walls, and you have the roof as well. And that's exactly the next thing we're going to be working on is the roof. Okay, you'll be attached several pieces. I am using this piece of paper, putting it against my project and make a mark of the length of my roof. So I'll make a mark and then I will cut my paper to size. All right, now we have the length. Now we're going to work on the width. I'm just double checking to make sure that my measurement is correct, and it looks pretty good. You can make the width of your roof pieces any width you like. For today's example, I'm making each of the piece 1 inch wide. So the first thing I need to make is actually one piece that's double the size. So I just cut a piece that's 2 inches wide. And the rest of the piece, I'm going to cut them 1 inch width for each piece. And I'm cutting several pieces. So depending on the width of your roof, you will figure out how many pieces you need to cut. So the way to do it is to just put the pieces that you just cut against your frame, and then you can determine whether you need more or less pieces. So for this piece that's double the size, it's going to be our very top piece to cover the seam. So we're going to score in the middle, right in the middle. So because we have a 2 inches wide piece, we're gonna score at 1 inch. And this is where this piece is going to go later on. This is going to go right on the top to on the tip of the roof to cover the seam. And all these other pieces you just cut, we will attach them so they look like roof tiles for your project. Okay. However, I am only showing you where everything will go. You are actually going to start by attaching from the bottom. All right, so we're going to attach the first piece from the bottom, and I'm trying to kind of match the edge of my roof. Depending on your project, you will know where it's supposed to go. Okay, you don't have to, but I think it will look nice that way. All right, first piece attached. Now we're going to work on the second piece. So you will lay this piece on top of your first piece. So it will look like you're laying your roof tiles on your house. Okay. Again, depending on the size of your project, you can adjust the width of your roof to your desire. All right, so we have most of the pieces attached. So I'm going to check to see if I need another piece. It looks like we don't need another piece because our top piece will cover nicely. So now I'm going to work on the other side. Remember, the top piece will be the very last piece to attach. I will be speeding this up a tad because this is exactly the same process. All right, now we have all the pieces attached. All we have left is the top piece to cover the seam. And we're just going to do exactly like that. Putting glue on the entire piece, and then we will attach. All right, there we go. Well, once the glue dry, at this point, you're pretty much done with the frame of your house box card. Let's take a look. We have the roof all completed. Let's take a look at different angles. We have the front ready for you to embellish, the side, the back, and the other side. Now you can choose to embellish your piece first before you put together your box card, or you can do it later on. Here is another look at the different houses I made. I hope this inspires you so you can make your own house card or even your own village. Have fun and enjoy the process.